It is about 14 minutes before the hour. Health Monday this morning. I don't know what Jacob's doing. He's just throwing stuff over here at my desk. Jacob and Jerry join us. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Man, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have y'all with us this morning. Health Monday. Here we are approaching mid-December, and you're already talking about 2020 and those resolutions I hadn't kept. Well, we can do it again for 2020, right?
Yeah.
Well, the year has flown by, you know, and I think that instead of waiting to talk about New Year's resolutions till January, the whatever day we're coming back, maybe it's better to start thinking about them before January the 1st rolls around.
Before we get to the New Year's resolution, what are some major changes y'all saw in 2020 at the drugstore with medicines?
Whew. Let's see, in this past
year. That's not in the notes, right?
No, we didn't have notes on that. That's not a fair question. And honestly, most change in our profession is very gradual. And so it's not a what changed this year, it's a what continued to change a little this year. You know, from our side of the fence, so to speak, there's changes every year in how, insurance, the people that actually pay the bulk of the drugs, pay and figure out how to pay and how much, all that kind of stuff that's really boring to everybody out there. There's always gradual changes in that, and even new drugs come in, new blockbuster this or that. There's not as much of that anymore, so much as we've a slightly new drug that may be a slight improvement over what we've got. It's incremental change is the name of our game, to be quite honest with you.
Well, we've had a lot more medications that are not covered. I can tell you that. Our patients can tell you that. So we're doing a lot of fighting with insurances to get those covered. There's been a lot of new drugs introduced in the world of diabetes. And as you might imagine, when those new drugs are introduced, they're extremely expensive. And so we've had a lot of our Medicare patients, which are probably some of our audience today, who have reached the donut hole a whole lot faster than they wanted to on their Medicare Part D because of these expensive medications. So that becomes a problem.
Well, let's talk about some New Year's resolutions and how do we get started? How can it be different in 2020 than I crash landed in 2019?
Yeah.
Well, it starts with, you mentioned when we very first started that, you gave up on your 2019 resolutions roughly 12 months ago.
That's right.
So before we get into some specific ideas for health and medication type resolutions, let's talk about resolutions. How to make one you're gonna do. Because we all make resolutions and we're all terrible at them, right? I mean, anybody that's not terrible, please come talk to me.
And yet we still try them year after year.
Because they're good to try.
That's
so,
right.
but let's make some that we can do. So some things to do for resolutions in general, whatever they are. Step one, write it down. If it's not written and hanging on that fridge or that cupboard or the bathroom wall next to the mirror or whatever, it's gone. Write it down. When you write it down at the top of that list, don't start with what you're going to do. Start with why. So for today, we're going to talk about, health resolutions, healthcare things to be healthier in general. Well, why? Why do I want to be? And don't write so I can be healthier. That doesn't count. Write so that I can walk my daughter down the aisle, so that I can see my grandchildren graduate, so that I can enjoy my retirement. I don't care what it is, but write down the why. Specifically, why do I want to be healthier? Make it measurable. I want to be healthier is not a resolution. I want to lose weight is not a resolution. I want to lose X number of pounds by losing 1 pound per week over X amount of time to hit my ideal weight. Oh, that's a goal. That's a resolution. I want to lose weight is not a resolution. I want to exercise X amount of time this often. That's a resolution. I want to exercise more. It's not a resolution. Right? So be specific. Be measurable. Tell somebody. Accountability. Tell somebody, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you see me not doing it, tell me. I need some accountability.
I think
tell
that was
people.
his problem. He probably just didn't,
He didn't tell anybody.
That's right.
And he wasn't specific.
If you keep your resolutions
I don't
to
want to deal
yourself.
with you. You seem like, man, you're either going to do these resolutions or else.
Listen, if you keep the resolutions to yourself, you don't have to keep any of them.
That's correct. That's been my method. You do one at a time. I may have 10 things I need to do. I'm not going to tackle 10 on January 1st because on January 15th, I'm done with all 10, right? One at a time. And then last, two crazy, right? Attainable and sustainable. Right there. Those are the word of the day, toilet paper for the day. Something that's attainable. I'm not going to tell myself I'm going to lose 200 pounds in 2020, excuse me. Something that's attainable that I could actually do and sustainable. I can keep up. Well, I'm going to work out 6 hours a day. I may can do that one day, but I have a job. I can't do that. That's not sustainable. Something that's I can do and I can keep doing, attainable and sustainable. That's how to make resolutions. All right, so that's your general how to make a resolution talk this morning.
Well, I want to see you top that, buddy.
I don't know if I can top that.
What is though really some of the a couple of the resolutions that we can make regarding our doctor and pharmacists that are attainable?
Yeah, I think this is important. First of all, start with this. If you do not have a primary physician, get one. That sounds very simple, but you would not believe the number of people who come into our pharmacy that don't have a primary physician. And some of these people are our people who are over age 65, our population who needs a primary doctor more than anyone. So if you don't have a primary physician, get one. And here's a follow-up to that. Go see that person. I know that seems very, very strange, but you also wouldn't believe the number of people who have a primary physician and don't ever go see them. You know, so there's a reason that your doctor wants you to come in for these preventative type visits, right? These visits are there to screen your blood pressure, to look at all kinds of things in your blood work, to see if there are things going wrong with you that can be stopped now rather than later. You know, we have people complaining all the time, why do I have to go to the doctor every 6 months? I just don't understand why I have to go back once every year. They're looking for things in you that can prevent greater problems down the road. This happens all the time. A patient comes in and they say, listen, I just found out that fill in the blank is wrong with me. I just found out that this is wrong with me. I should have gone to the doctor 6 months ago. I should have gone to the doctor 2 years ago, and I would have known this ahead of time. So get yourself a physician, go visit that physician. And how about this for a follow-up?
Oh boy.
Tell them and your pharmacist the truth.
Ridiculous. No.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. You would not believe the number of people who get a 30-day supply of their medication once every 6 months and then tell us, of course I'm taking it every day.
I take it every single day.
We had a patient just last week or maybe the week before who has not been taking their blood pressure medication for a long time. Went to the doctor, and because their blood pressure was out of control, the doctor increased the dose of the medicine that they weren't taking to begin with and then added another one on top of that.
Third medicine.
So if a person is not taking their medicine, goes to the doctor, gets medication added, guess what's going to happen to that person? If that person starts taking the medication, the blood pressure is going to go too low. So be honest with your physician, be honest with your pharmacist. That's a great start.
We usually don't hit people. And your doctor's probably not going to electrocute you or something.
He's intimidating at 4'7".
Be honest. Nothing bad happens. Just be honest, because we base things that are very important to you, decisions, on what you tell us. Don't be honest.
Yeah. Talk about dieting and exercise, and you know, it's going to be different for different age groups. But you know, in 2020, a New Year's resolution is one that we've used for years. I'm on diet and exercise.
I'm on diet and exercise.
Again, that's not a good goal.
That's not a resolution because it's not measurable and attainable and sustainable. All right, so, but let's talk about some things that are extremely attainable and sustainable in diet world. I'm not gonna drink my calories. I'm gonna cut out sugary sodas, sweet teas, and maybe not completely. Nobody in this world loves a Coca-Cola more than me. Maybe my father-in-law. Outside of that, no one in this world loves a Coca-Cola more than me. And I still drink Cokes every now and then. Very rarely. I cut them out for the most part. Several years ago, I cut them out. I drink water almost all the time. And I'm not telling you have to do that. I'm just giving you an example of a great thing to say. You know, I don't have to cut out everything. I'm going to pick something and cut it out. Cut out, again, and not drinking your calories is a good way to start. I'm going to eat out less. I'm going to brown bag it a little bit more at lunch. I used to eat out every day at lunch. Forget the expenses, and it was expensive. Forget that. It's terrible for you. I used to eat out all the time. I quit doing it, and honestly, I lost about 25 pounds. I exercised a little more, very little, and I stopped eating out every day. I lost 25 pounds. Stop eating out every day. You'll save a ton of money in the process, and you'll be healthier just by default. Drink the proper amount of water, which is at least 64 ounces a day. Nobody drinks the proper amount of water. I know a few people that do. I say nobody, very few. Drink the proper amount of water. Drink the right amount of water. So I've just named 3 goals right there. Don't drink your calories. Drink the right amount of water, which is at least 64 ounces a day. And eat out less. Or if you want to make it a measurable goal, Eat out no more than once per week. Pick you a number that's measurable now and attainable and sustainable. Those 3 right there are great dietary goals. But in general, people need to know this. How much should I eat? Average man needs to eat about 2,500 calories a day. Average woman about 2,000. Now that's variable, but if you're going to your doctor, like Jared said, they can give you a better number for you. If you want to lose a pound a week, you cut out 500 calories per day. And 1 pound per week is the best and most sustainable weight loss goal. I want to lose 1 pound per week every week until I've met my goal. So
that's a good one.
500 calories, that's 500 calories a day. 500 calories a day.
Last minute with you.
Yeah, you know, one more thing I want to make sure we point out is getting the appropriate diagnostic test for a person of your age and risk factors. A perfect example of this would be a colonoscopy. If you're a person who's at average risk for colon cancer, that would be you don't have a family history of colon cancer, you don't have IBS, you don't have this and this and this. Average person at risk, starting at age 45, should have a colonoscopy every 10 years. Nobody wants to do that. The test is no big deal, but the preparation's terrible, right? That's a miserable night the night before. But screening for these things, again, prevention is a whole lot better than trying to catch something after you already have it.
All right. Thank you both for being here this morning.
Yes, sir.
Jared and Jacob from Marble City Pharmacy with Health Monday, New Year's health resolutions. Contact these guys at the drugstore for more information. We're out of time this morning. Thank you for yours.